Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl in your face while you're sleeping. Hello everyone and welcome back to Mind Read, your go-to channel for top 10 videos, and sometimes more, on topics based on pictures sent in by viewers like you. Also, you should totally subscribe, because we make 3 new videos a week and we'd love for you to see them. And don't forget to click on that notification bell to get notified as soon as we post a new video. It's like getting a free VIP pass to be the first in line to see our videos. And who wouldn't love that? So, Elf on a Shelf has become quite the phenomenon in the 16 or so years since it's been around. The popular doll Elf on a Shelf first came into the world in the year 2005 when author Carol Abersold first published her children's book, which told the tale of a little elf who was sent by Santa to each house around the world to report on each child's behavior to Santa Claus. The book comes with a little cute toy elf that has been getting into some hijinks that have really been raising some eyebrows. Without any further ado, let's get into our list for the day. We are counting down 13 times Elf on the Shelf has been caught moving on camera, this time focusing specifically on what the little guy does in the kitchen. Kitchen caper number 13, falling all over the place. Okay. So in this video, 2 little girls have captured a video of an elf having quite a bit of difficulty getting around the kitchen. First, we see a little elf doll sitting on a tiny chair on the kitchen counter. Just a second into the video, the little chair falls over and the elf falls into the sink. Then he climbs out of the sink, only to fall onto the floor. Soon we see him climb up the fridge and open a nearby cabinet, almost falling from the cabinet's handle, but he flies up a bit for a few milliseconds before falling back onto the floor. The elf then climbs back onto the counter and back into the chair, which then begins to fly toward the camera. The elf begins to play peekaboo with the little girls watching. Kitchen caper number 12, gamer elf in the kitchen. This one is interesting. At first we see a little guy sitting in his couch playing video games. After a bit of gameplay, the owner gets up and heads off to bed, giving the elf an idea. He disappears from his perch atop the kitchen cabinet and reappears on the table where the Xbox controller was. Next, he begins to push the buttons on the controller with his hands and his feet, and even his hat. Once he has played for a while, he evidently gets hungry and transports himself to the kitchen and cooks himself a quick snack. Although it's not clear what exactly he makes, we see him open a box of BISCUITS before the camera cuts out. Guess he worked up an appetite. Kitchen caper number 11, Elf Traveler. This mom is sure that her Elf on a Shelf has been moving while she and her family sleep in their beds. So, she decides to set up cameras in her house to see if her suspicions are correct. The footage that she captures is shocking to say the least. First, she shows us the elf sitting on the top of the Christmas tree. Next, she shows us what appears to be the elf's door to the North Pole underneath one of her cabinets. Once he is sure that the humans have gone to sleep, the cameras capture the elf traveling down the tree and then appearing in the camera frame in the kitchen, heading toward the small door. He then disappears through the door in a flash of starlight. Then, with another flash, he's back again and heads back, at least presumably to where he started at the beginning of the video. Kitchen caper number 10, Elf munching candies in the kitchen. This elf apparently gets a sweet tooth and decides to make a video blog of himself eating candy when some of his elf friends decide to crash his little party. In the next frame, we see the other elves pretty much in a sugar coma with candy wrappers around them. You can hear the original elf actually ask them, "What have you done?" Kitchen caper number 9, Kitchen Pooper. This next elf decides to ignore the bathroom and pick a less hygienic place to do his business. The camera shows him on a kitchen island next to a glass and poops into the glass. Then he finally flies over to the roll of paper towels in the background and wipes himself on them. Then, he flies off camera, leaving the mess for someone else to clean up. Kitchen caper number 8, Dish Drain Dude. This elf is seen hanging out in the dish drain with some clean dishes. It's unclear what he's doing in there, whether he wants to help with the dishes or dirty them. In one version of the video, we can see him fly over and turn on the water. Kitchen caper number 7, Popcorn Making Fun. This little elf gets super creative and actually videotapes himself making a bag of popcorn, pouring it into a bowl, and then jumps into the bowl of popcorn like a ball pit. This is certainly a creative and fun-loving little guy. Kitchen caper number 6, Stealing Skittles. At the beginning of this video, we see a big bag of Skittle candies that someone has left out on a kitchen counter. Moments later, we see an elf on the shelf peer in through the cracked door in the background. He disappears in a puff of smoke, then reappears next to the Skittles. He glances around a few times before knocking over the bag. However, as soon as he does so, he is seized by a human hand. We're sure he'll think long and hard before he tries this ever again. Kitchen caper number 5. Cereal killer. In this video, we see an elf and a box of cereal. The elf looks as though he's adjusting the camera in the beginning of the video. Next, it shows him floating up, and in the next frame, he is in the cereal box. Then, we see him duck down into the box, and some pieces of cereal fly out as if he is launching them out of the opening of the box. Finally, the elf reappears outside of the box. He looks into the camera lens. He tiptoes back over to the box and repeats his actions. What a naughty elf for making such a mess. Kitchen caper number 4. Dog biscuits. This elf looks like he was trying to grab the box of graham crackers, but grabs a box of dog biscuits instead. Not noticing this error, he begins to get out a plate and dumps the contents of the box onto the plate. The clip ends here, but we can only imagine what a surprise he got. Kitchen caper number 3. Kitchen haul. In our next video, we see an elf driving a toy car that is pulling what looks to be a cart full of snacks. Evidently, this elf has the munchies and comes up with a pretty creative idea to remedy the situation. Alright, it's that time again. It's time for the picture of the day. For every video we post, we choose a picture that you send us to talk about. This photo shows an elf on a shelf hanging out on what looks to be a kitchen floor. Where he's going or what he's doing, we're not too sure, but we can be assured that it's something mischievous. Kitchen caper number 2. Dancing elves. In this video, we see 2 elves dancing on top of the kitchen table. Then the frame changes to the living room, where we see cats on the furniture. Then we see one of the elves fall onto the floor, to which the cats respond by jumping down and going to investigate. You know what they say about cats and curiosity. Kitchen caper number 1. Taste the rainbow. In our last video of the day, we see an elf opening a kitchen cabinet. Inside the cabinet was a big bag of Skittles candy. The elf looks very excited. He pushes the bag of candy out of the cabinet into a cardboard box that is waiting on the counter below. Then he hops down into the box and sits next to the Skittles. We don't know what happened next, but we can only imagine. Okay, folks, that wraps up the video for today. We hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, go ahead and leave a like on this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe, because we make new videos 3 times a week, and you don't want to miss them. While you're at it, go ahead and click the notification bell to be notified as soon as we post a new video. See you next time on Mind Read.